Thanks for making it to the end of my... Hey everybody, this is Calvin Waite. I trade crypto for a living. I'm not a registered or licensed financial advisor, planner, or broker, so nothing on this channel should be taken as a recommendation to buy or sell. I also trade all of these things, so I probably have a vested interest in there. But there's plenty of entertainment value and lots of education, so this will be awesome. For those of you who didn't know, my subscription channel is live. So look at the link in the description over at cryptoinfluencers.com and you can see how I make all of my trades and what I do and what I think about everything. This channel is for more hypothetical and looking at trends, and the other one is for actual trading. So you might be interested in that. All right, how is everybody doing? It's been a week. A lot going on. It's just been a kind of a busy summer. Got back from vacation, and then just been kind of recovering and doing a bunch of stuff. So it's been a little bit hard to keep on top of everything, but I figured I would definitely be here for Wednesday, and we will do our best to update you guys on what is happening with the market. The title of this is just kind of talking about the crossroads that we're in. It's not a negative thing. The crossroads that we're at is just this really kind of interesting indecision point that we've been in. When markets are this quiet, something's building. And I've seen across, crypto Twitter and just out there in the ether of the crypto world, there's a lot of bearishness. People are like, we've had a lot of attempts to break out and we haven't done it. And so people are giving up, or they're getting worried, or they're nervous about whether the market is still bullish or not. But just because we haven't broken out yet doesn't mean we're not going to. And it doesn't mean that that anything is broken as far as this chart structure. Last week's candle, so actually, before I get too far, I just wanted to remind everybody, if you would like to learn how to do all of this, over at cryptoinfluencers.com is where my kind of home base is. And this is the free channel right here. And chat is here, and then the pro channel is right here. So you can join me if you want to do that. All right, so, but look at this chart. When we had this huge week where we went up 15.65% in a single week, it brought us to our 2.5-year-old line that had support and resistance built into it. I'm going to take the liberty of moving it just a tiny bit. Where I'm headed with it is the top of this green candle. The top of this green candle is obvious resistance. So I'm going to go ahead and move it up just a little bit, because where our prior line was, it's just sort of that best fit line that hits the most wicks without breaking any bodies. And we were here, and then this week pushed it up just a teeny bit. Well, because we haven't broken out and our true resistance is right here, I'm going to move it up just a teeny bit more, just so we have an accurate and honest look at where our resistance is. So we did hit with this wick. We are hitting all 4 wicks here. And then here's our switching point where we've got wicks down and wicks up. And then here's our support. And this goes all the way back to January of 2021. Hey, Barbarian, thanks for commenting, so I know we're live. That's always nice. All right, so what we're doing is we're doing a very measured pullback. I know we've had some really good news with XRP, just some amazing things that are happening in our market. But for some reason, some group or it had to have been a group, because we went down in the matter of 2 hours after the XRP full ramp up, and it just totally put water on this thing. And so somebody's not ready for this to move yet. But I love when a chart is sloping down and there's no fear. So we're at a crossroads because we are pulling back and we're about ready to pull up. On the daily, it's getting a little bit more shaky. So so these lines are pretty critical. This is our prior all-time high, but we haven't respected this at all. I think I might actually remove it for now. So let me just clean up my chart a little bit. I think this line is still in play, and this line still could potentially be in play. You know what? I'll bring it back later if we need it. But look what we're doing. On the daily, we are doing a broadening formation. So what a broadening formation is it's an indecision point where bears think they're right and bulls think they're right, and both sides are losing. So we had a really strong bull impulse to start this whole thing, and then a bear attempt, and then a bull attempt, and this bull attempt is a breakout. So we had a prior resistance here. We had a full breakout. This is usually takeoff zone. But bears are like, no, you're not in control. We're in control. And they pulled it down. And what they did is they created a second breakout point. So breakout to the downside would have been below this line here. And so they hit a breakout zone. This fakes a lot of people out, and it stops out a lot of traders. Many traders will have a stop beyond this. And so going up here stops out all the shorts, and then nothing happened. So it goes down, and then all the bulls, they've got their stops right here. And so this stops out all of the bulls on this side. And then same thing. We went back up to the top, had all of the bears would probably put their stops here. So the bears all got stopped out. And then we've had a wick down here that confirmed this line twice. So if I zoom in really close, you can see that we've touched the outline of this. So this is really messy for a lot of traders. I've just been patient through this whole thing because I'm not worried about these day-to-day movements. I'm looking at this weekly chart, just thinking, man, this looks phenomenal. You can kind of see really what's happening in our market with this. So what's the next logical move? The next logical move is move to the upper part of our wedge. If this pattern is still playing, and there's no reason to believe that it isn't until something breaks, then we should touch the top of this channel. But it's pretty wild. Things are getting more emotional. Bulls are increasing in conviction and bears are increasing in conviction. That's why there's such a dichotomy out there emotionally. And so you can see plain as day in the chart why people are so kind of bipolar and really polarized out there in their opinions. Well, I still don't think this is very bearish. I know that there's the bull camp and the bear camp, and neither is winning. But if I was to zoom out and really think about this market, there's sort of a critical crossroads in that we could break down, or we could continue in our current formation. I just feel like the breakdown has a lot of support, and that's what's giving me confidence to hang on, even though we've been kind of technically we've been looking at lower highs or whatever for about 7 days. We're definitely on a downtrend for sure, and it's from hitting the top of our broadening formation. So the market might be getting impatient, and people might be getting scared because technically the bears are wicking down into areas that we haven't really touched before. But what we do have is we have a daily coming up as support here, the daily 50, we have the daily 100, and we have the daily 200, and they're all sloping upwards. So there is this is the definition of a bull market. You've got price action on top, you've got all of your averages in the right order, and they're all sloping upwards. It's no time to be panicking, in my opinion. And I know today is Wednesday. Today is Wednesday, emotional, wild Wednesday. But it's just one of those things that the market is doing kind of a really strong indecision point, and it's hard to tell who's gonna win. But we're on the right side of a lot of the major levels. This level is probably one of the more important, because this level here, where we had our resistance and then we popped back up, you can see how we began to range, or the majority of this price action ranged under this line. And you can see that once we broke it, the majority of our price action is ranging above this line. And if eventually we get even more wild and we come back down and even confirm this line, we still have a consolidation that's higher. And that's the other thing I wanted to mention, is that consolidations, usually when you have a consolidation at the top of a range, that's usually a negative thing. But what's really happening is if there's a consolidation on the top of a resistance point, most likely you're actually building up strength for another move. So if you let me just see if I can think of an example. If you move really quickly, let me just see if I can find an example. Yeah. So like during this move here, this may have been considered a type of consolidation, but it's really angled. This is really angled, but this is really a true consolidation. So when you move this far, this high, and then you start consolidating, now you're in trouble. But if you are if you're breaking into a new level where you've consolidated before, I've seen it more on alts. Maybe there's an alt that'll show it a little bit better. Well, even this period was pretty good, because we had so much consolidation in this range here, and then we began to consolidate in a higher range, and then this was actually some of the strength that brought us up into this next move up to the upside. So when you've got a pretty solid situation where you have a lot of consolidation, and then you break above that, and all of that consolidation's resistance becomes a new consolidation support, you're actually in better shape than you are. You're in better shape than worse shape is what I'm trying to say. Ethereum, actually, this is probably a good one, because see how we had this consolidation here and it seemed very sideways, and then we started consolidating in a higher range where our prior range's resistance became our support, and then that enabled us to kind of break out even further. So there are some positive things. I'm actually, as emotional as this market is, I really feel pretty strongly that it's just a matter of being patient. I haven't done anything to hedge. I'm just waiting for more upside. So it's very, very, it's taxing, because we've been in this range for a while. Let me just kind of measure how long we've been doing this. 27 days. So we're coming up on a month of new highs that didn't go anywhere and false breakdowns. So false breakouts, false breakdowns for an entire month, that can get into people's heads. And so it helps to step back and think, okay, there's just a lot of, at this point you kind of have to just look at the weekly chart and go, do I feel scared? Is this chart just showing weakness? No, it's not. So anyway, that's a pretty decent run. Okay, now I have one last thing I want to talk to you about Bitcoin, and it actually is extremely bullish. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom out a little bit. Let me go ahead and get over to my, this is my chart where I've got all of my halving events and all of that. And I kind of want to show you something that I was drawing for the Pro channel. So look at this. I want to show you this right here. such a pretty piece of artwork, isn't it? All right, let me go ahead and pull in another chart. And let me remove interval. Okay, just remove everything. Okay, and what I wanted to do is show you this. So I don't know if you know this, but back in 2015, we had a version of our cup and handle. So I'm going to do my same crappy drawing just so you can see what an amazing thing this is. All right, here is the top of our cup. I'll try to get that as straight as I can. Yeah, nice move. And then I'm going to draw in our cup. And then this is our handle. And then this is who knows what's going on. All right, so look at this. So back in 2014 and 15 and 16, so you can see how big this is. So let me just kind of, from the start of this cup and handle until, so we'll just measure the cup itself. It was 476 days. That's big, that's a big cup. And now let's take pretty much this here, and we'll do the exact same thing. It's a little shorter, 329 days, but they're both massive. You can really see how the market had a slow, long drawn out bottom, and it finally curled back around, and we hit our first actual resistance after doing this whole thing. So these are just massive moves. And this one took a year and a half, like a year and 3 months, we'll just say. And then this one was just about a year long. So both of these have a lot of emotion, a lot of time, a lot of structure forming these things. And then this one had a tiny little cup, and it lasted. We were back up in 49 days. And then down here, our little handle, we were back in 70 days. But you can see that we've kind of done a very similar thing. Massive cup, little handle, getting us to where we need to be. We pulled down, we pulled back up. Well, now, the interesting part of this chart is what happened next. So I'm going to zoom in on this so we can kind of see the emotions that happened back here. We were up here potentially looking for breakouts. And what we did is we got scared. And the market dropped us all the way down. And in fact, it was a couple of weeks later. Let's see, the low point on this was $382. So this is our bottom right here. We had a wick pretty far down on our handle. And so what would that look like? If we had a wick about that far down on the handle, that would be about a $27,500 Bitcoin. I mean, that's a pretty decent move. And then it took a long time. Another slow grind. This is a month. This is almost 2 months. 2 months after the handle was formed that we finally hit potential breakout point. This is slightly higher than this. And so you can see how this was potentially our breakout. But I want you to notice these wicks down below. Things were crazy, super emotional. This would have scared out anybody that was really impatient, or anybody that was struggling with the kind of macro structure of this chart. From top to bottom, let's just say from open to the bottom of the wick, so this is about a 10% drop. Like a 10% drop would be pretty scary right now. What's a 10% drop? Yeah, that'd bring us down to 27,000. So this happened way later. So after our huge, almost 2.5 year cup and handle structure, we still had to wait months before our breakout. And then we had these just really intense, hey, this whole thing's gonna blow up in our face. We're dropping fast. The market's just really wild. And then we did it again. not only did we do it again, but that was the candle that started bringing us up. So you can see at the top of this, at the top of the breakout zone, before we really broke out, we had a lot of emotion, lots of emotion. Bears think they're absolutely that this thing's not gonna go anywhere. Bulls are pushing really hard to get it back up, but the bears are just, you can just see this tug of war that happened, and this happened for a month. There are 4 long tail candles. By the end of this, you're like, okay, well, we actually bought back through the bears shenanigans, and we're back up to the top of our range. But still, we even had an indecision. No, this is a reversal candle. So after all of this, this was potentially a turnaround, and then we ended up with a red candle. You can just see the emotions all through this. But then finally, when the market was ready, the breakout came. And we had a huge breakout. Major move. And then of course we retreated and we had to spend some time. And then of course we did a consolidation higher than our prior resistance. And then we were just off to the races. This whole formation completely exploded to the upside and we went into the bull market. Well, we're doing a lot of similar things. A lot. Bulls think that they're right, bears think that they're right, but nothing has really broken. And we're keeping it in a really tight range. I could just see this doing something similar, you know? We didn't, it took the breakout before we were in the green zone on the weekly. And right now we need a golden cross to get that in the right order. We're still below our 100 week, which by then we were above it. So we had a little bit more consolidation and some momentum happening here. But as far as this structure, we're doing kind of the same thing emotionally. So just interesting things that are happening in our market. And I wanted to kind of give you a heads up as to sort of what's happening, but I'm still bullish on this market. I'm super patient though. It's not fun to see, markets, tease you like that. You've got profits just really looking good because you see a breakout and then it takes it away and it looks like it's a full breakdown. And then it teases you again. Get over to the daily so you can see what I'm saying. You're deep in the green, thinking that the market's breaking out, and you totally nailed this thing, and then it takes it away from you and scares you that we're breaking down, and then it does it again. Everything's clear blue skies. You're so profitable. Everything's looking awesome, and then everything gets taken away. So it's emotional, but the breakout is still coming, and I still think it's going to happen to the upside. So that's kind of where I'm at on this market. So hopefully that helps. Thanks for saying so. Tehai says Calvin missed you. I appreciate that. Michael Pressler, hey Calvin, love your TA. Can you share your opinion on how far XRP can go Q3 and Q4 this year? I have to be the best TA on YouTube. Thanks, I appreciate that. Sorry for being so busy. Yeah, it's just I love the TA and there's a lot going on, but oh man, finding time sometimes it's just a killer. So let's see. Let's take a look at XRP. This is the coin that started it all. And we can talk about whatever else too. Okay, so XRP. Now, my usual opinion on markets that look like this, if a coin hits 100% in a day, I'm usually looking for exits. I'm looking to sell. I actually had a sell order at 57 cents. And then I noticed it was up 16%. And then I saw news break that they won their thing. And I hurried and canceled my exit order because I knew this baby was going to run. And normally at 100%, which we hit right up here, I'm looking for the exit. But the ramifications of XRP winning that lawsuit against the SEC and all of those exchanges relisting them it has, it is unbelievable. It really, there's a lot of payout that's still going to happen. It's been suppressed for the 3 years of the entire lawsuit, and being delisted from everything normally would kill a project. So the fact that they've hung on and still been around and have just kind of done what they can is amazing. And then when the glass breaks and it's finally free, I've been seeing, I saw some charts. I don't know if it's like maybe the weekly chart or something. Yeah, this is the wrong. You know what? Let me get a chart with more detail, more history, because XRP is one of the oldest. Yeah, here's the crypto index. This will be perfect. This doesn't have price very clean, but it'll have the whole history, because this is market cap, not price. I guess that isn't even very helpful, is it? All right, let me try one more time. There's definitely lots to be learned from this chart, but give me one more sec. XRP. Let's see. I know they were around earlier than Binance. Maybe Bitstamp has more history. Maybe Bitfinex. Well, we'll just try them all. All right, let's see which one has the most history. Yeah, 2013. Yep, okay. So Bitfinex is no good. It's Bitstamp. This is Bitstamp's the one I used to use originally to map out the price of Bitcoin. So here we are. Well, it was funny. Okay, so this was the all-time high for XRP, and then of course if I take off the log scale, they've moved some things on me. So if I just go to regular, this is what this chart looks like. And last week, we had this tiny little, I mean, it wasn't tiny, but it was just a little bit smaller thing. And all of these so-called technical analysts were like, look how high the market was. Then we're brought down, and then we had this huge, really awesome price. And then they finally win their case, and we get this tiny little output. And I'm like, oh my goodness, you guys are so short-sighted. like that is very, very short-sighted. Breaking a lawsuit doesn't mean you're going to just hit all-time highs tomorrow. Like, how fast do you need to make your money? Oh, the impatience in markets is just incredible to me. This is a phenomenal move. It's a really phenomenal move. If I let me pull back logarithmic. This is the story on XRP. We have this declining resistance, and we're not even there yet. But we also have an increasing support. Which side is going to win? I would strongly give it to the bulls. We will likely reject up in here because we've gone up pretty hard. Things have been pretty fast, but we are at the beginning. We're at the beginning of the bull market, and alt season is just barely off the ground. Like there are a lot of alts that are right in that switching point where a lot of exits of red zones, a lot of good things happening, but nothing's really exploded yet. It's because Bitcoin and Ethereum have pulled back a bit. But if we get our next move, man, alts are going to triple. They're all going to just fly. It's going to be really, really wild. If XRP has this much of a head start, just wait. So what I'm expecting, when XRP gets moving, it really, really can go quickly. Look at the beginning back here, how we went up so quickly. And then we had a couple of weeks where we pulled back and consolidated, and then it pushed really hard again. These are the types of things that'll happen once the market is behind you, and we're kind of experiencing some of that. This is a pretty massive move. 1 second. Yeah. Just proving that this is live. As if you didn't know. Excuse me. So yeah, this market really could break out. It's hard to give a target because every target is wrong. But if we were to come up to this line and reject for a little bit, I'm betting we would find support at least in the 50% mark, and we would probably come back out, and then we will most likely find resistance. I'll draw it in just a second, but we'll probably find resistance. We may come back down and confirm, and then whatever this is what the market will give us. I think we'll get a little bit shy of this and then fall apart. I don't think we're going to hit all-time highs. And by the way, this level here is the resistance probably. So I kind of drew this a little incorrectly. So this level will be resistance for sure. But I can see us resisting somewhere in between here and then trying one more time. That's kind of what my expectation is. I don't believe it'll go too much higher because the novelty will wear off, but the whole market will be in a bull phase by this point, and so it really could do well. Yeah, but what is that? You know, from where we are to almost our best case scenario is like a triple from here. So, you know, it'd be interesting. That's what I'm thinking best case is. I'm the type of trader that if we even get close to this, I'll already be out of my positions. I like to take the money and run. That's the kind of trader I am. Okay, so anyway, hopefully that helps. Alt season. Oh, you know what? This was the other thing. When you look at total market cap, there are more coins in this move. So the price times the amount of coins. This chart is actually a little bit more interesting because we're actually closer to this line than you think. And it's because there's more coins in circulation. So that's kind of part of what's happening here. But man, we're really getting a lot of strength and ramping up. You can see how we've, even before the breakout, we were above the 50-week moving average, or 50-month moving average, and had found support on the 100-month. So we were already turning the corner, even without the news, and then the news came and we were already bullish, so the structure was in place. So that's pretty interesting. All right, one more thing before we go, because I kind of mentioned alt season. If I go to the daily Bitcoin or Ethereum to Bitcoin ratio, we are in a red zone. So that usually means that Ethereum is underperforming versus Bitcoin. But look how this has developed since we were last speaking. I said that I was speculating that this would be a higher low than this, and it is. This move definitely confirmed that we are making our way off the bottom here. So we have our selling climax, we have our bear trap, and now we've done a beautiful flip from resistance here to support here. And this, when Ethereum starts outperforming Bitcoin, that is the definition of an alt season, because all the alts follow Ethereum. So this is really pretty, very pretty. So I know Bitcoin is up and down, and so is Ethereum, but when you look at the ratio, alt season is coming. It's looking very good. Once Ethereum Bitcoin exits the red zone, we should be on our way. So this is very huge. The others and others dominance charts, for some reason there was a huge gap. So I don't know if TradingView found some new coins that they haven't been adding, using in their calculation, had to throw those in, but it's making this chart illegible. Like there's really nothing to see here until we get more data. So that's kind of sad. Our data is just all messed up. We jumped from here to here and it's just practically useless. So I kind of pulled back to use the Ethereum Bitcoin valuation, and this is brand new. I mean, this is yesterday's close confirming support on the other side of this resistance. So all season is knocking on the door. It is, if it's not underway, it's about to. So that's very, very cool. You are welcome there, Michael. All right, AJ Stein, Calvin with the sharp haircut. I lost a few pounds, didn't I? Thing is I didn't get a haircut because I knew I'd be in the sun a lot, and I was gonna get it right before I left. Believe me, I needed it then. But then I just knew I'd just toast my ears and my scalp or whatever. So anyway, that was me future planning my my life. Finally got it done though. Like I say, I've been busy lately. All right, so can you share your awesome TA regarding Luna? Sure, be happy to. Thanks for being here. That's why it's fun to do these lives, so we can hit questions that are... Okay, so Luna. Let's take a look. Holy cow! Look at Luna. That thing is ready to blow. Wow, that's pretty. Yeah, so anyway, what I'm seeing is that we are in a red zone. Bottoms happen in red zones. Red zones do represent a bear market. Your price action is down. All of your averages are coming down. Everything is in full reverse. We're heading down. But especially when you get a big, fat, solid, non-breaking red zone, breaking a red zone like this is so bullish. When you exit a red zone that's this fat, it's usually a pretty good entry point, let me just say. And we definitely have a lot of things going on here. Solid red zone. I'll give you a quarter if you can spot the selling climax. Our selling climax is right here. Major drop, and it was unproductive. It was this candle close that probably told you that at some point we're about ready to turn around. And this is most likely our worst case scenario. So we dropped pretty hard, we pulled back up, and then we've been consolidating almost sideways from that point on. Almost sideways. In fact, we've done it for so long that we've allowed our 50 to come right down into price action. Look how close this 50 is. We are right on top of it. And 2 days ago, we thought we broke it, and everyone was running. Pretty big intraday rejection. So did not break the 50. Paid for it with this candle. We've got a cross of the 9 and 20 below, but we're above our 20. And now today we attempted. So the market is just hungry for an actual breakout above this 50. When we get a close above this 50, it's gonna do well. The risk versus reward now is really good. 65 cents or above. If it closes up here above the 50, it is a monumental shift for Luna. Yeah, man, you're making me want to add this to my my positions. If we close above this, it is very likely to break out. And there's some upside here. I mean, look at this. We've kind of had a fall with no rest ever since this point here, which was $2.29. This could have a pretty decent upside. Even if we only recovered about half of that, you're at least going to double your position. That'd be a pretty safe bet if I was a gambler, which I am. It's what I do for a living. So very interesting. So yeah, so Blaze, good question. Blaze says, how much can DOT go in the bull market? That is an interesting question because I really don't like to pick targets. I like to read the chart as it comes. But DOT right now looks really bullish. Let me just find it. Sorry, I'm a little behind on my comments. I didn't notice that everyone said something. Here we go. Look at this. DOT has broken out of the red zone. It got a little thinner. We had a little fake out, but we are definitely consolidating outside of this red zone, and we've got pretty much an inverse head and shoulders here. You see this? Me and my art skills. So breakout zone is here. This is our line. We get above that and we're really going to move. What these charts love to do when you exit a red zone is usually exit the red zone and you search for the 100. Sometimes you'll get lucky and get to the 200, but eventually you'll come back and test the 50. In this case, 50. And then from there, you actually try to break the 100 and hit the 200. And then normally you come back and find support on the 100, and you kind of zigzag up through these. So you zigzag through the 50 up to the 100, back to the 50, up to the 200, back to the 100, and then you break out, and then whatever the market gives you, that's probably all you're going to get. That's generally how this works. Well, we've kind of been struggling. Alts have been following Ethereum, and they're down a little bit lower, but we're still in a really nice consolidation zone. If the market gives us anything, I can just see the alts just across the board just really launching. So right now is looking very pretty. Our most recent resistance is $7. We're trading at $5. But yeah, depends on how much legs the market gives us. There's a lot of high-priced price points in the past. Holy mackerel! Yeah, if we even got to 10 or 15 or somewhere in the mid-range, it's still a triple or quadruple from where we are. Not too bad. Let's see, Massey. Are you a Solana owner by chance? If so, do you have any TA on it? Yeah, I own some Solana. I actually think it looks really nice right now. Here it is. Yeah, look at this. So Solana exiting the yellow zone. This was our first resistance because this was where we were hitting some resistance here. We pulled up above it. We're above our 50-week moving average, and we had a really ugly rejection here. See this long wick? I was like, ugh, I hope that doesn't put the brakes on this thing. And it did for a while, so we've pulled back a little bit. Today we're doing a fairly decent showing, but this line here is critical, and it's old. This line here is from July of 2021, so we are breaking something that's almost pretty much 2 years old. And so we are definitely struggling with it. I'd love to see more consolidation. I don't want to break out too fast. If we like pulled back for a month and then pulled back in, we could really start making some major moves. But yeah, we definitely have a selling climax here. We have increasing support here, and we're about to start new territory. If we start consolidating on the top of this resistance down here, consolidating up here, that's the same situation that Bitcoin's showing. There's plenty of upside. Our next major line is right here, which would be 47. So getting close to double from where we are now. And there's probably some upside here. So that looks pretty good. How's your Digibyte looking? Well, let's just take a quick look. I was trading Digibyte until they stopped. They closed their thing on MEXC. That was brutal because I had an open position that I wasn't ready to close, and they auto closed it. Well, we're getting a pretty solid attempt of exiting the red zone. So yeah, this is that case where you exit the red zone and you try to hit the 100. But sometimes you'll get lucky and hit the 200. I don't know if this is very lucky because we rejected and pulled back to the 100, so that's not great. But we are consolidating sideways. We already have our selling climax under our belts. Consolidating here, I would say there's an upside here. It's amazing because you can pick out almost any alt at this point and you already see momentum. Most of these have exited the red zone by a month or at least a few days, even in the worst case scenario, and they're all looking really nice. Michael, can we even put a measuring stick on how much money will enter the altcoin market when you have the head of BlackRock calling Bitcoin an international asset, digital liquid gold. So, two things on that comment. One is I don't trust BlackRock at all. Often when they say something, it's misdirection. And I kind of wonder if BlackRock is one of the groups that is creating this emotionality. Because I think they are late to the game. I don't think, when they are going public and talking about how bullish they are probably trying to do a liquidity event. They're probably either selling or they're stalling this market. Something. Whenever he's positive, it makes me nervous. He's kind of one of those public news contrarian indicators. So he makes me nervous saying that. But when you strip away all that and you look at the actual impact of a Bitcoin ETF on the market, it is extremely bullish. There's no way around it. So how it'll work is if Bitcoin has a US ETF where lots of retirement and money that could never touch Bitcoin can suddenly touch Bitcoin, I think it's unavoidable that Bitcoin will really benefit from that. But I also agree with your comment that it's probably not going to stop with Bitcoin. The very next ETF that'll get approved will be an Ethereum one, and you all know that when Ethereum goes, it brings the rest of the alts with it, and so it could be an orderly situation. It could be that Bitcoin's first, and it starts moving, and then Ethereum starts moving, after. But I still feel like Ethereum will probably move at the same time, because if Bitcoin gets a lot of attention, there's still lots of people out there that are new to Bitcoin and new to crypto, and they look at a $30,000 Bitcoin and think they have to buy a full one. Like no one can get past that for some reason. And they're like, ugh, I can't even get a full Bitcoin. I guess I'll buy Ethereum or I'll buy something else. And it's just, I don't know what that mentality is. Nobody thinks of, I'm buying a fixed percentage of a closed economy. That's the way I think of buying Bitcoin. Ethereum has historically been an open economy where there was always inflation, but now with the burn, it's not. But there's just that kind of strange mentality of people that want to buy something that they can have a full one of. And so that's where I think a lot of retail will flow into alts and Ethereum. And with the structure of the Bitcoin Ethereum valuation, I don't, it could happen pretty fast. If the BlackRock ETF or some other ETF for Bitcoin happened in the United States, I think Bitcoin would jump immediately. It would be a huge, huge up on Bitcoin. And I think at that point, it would probably outpace the rest of the market. But then I think whenever that emotional moment wears off, which would be like 2 days, 3 days, markets are, that's when the rest of the market will really pick up. And as a percentage of the whole, lots of money is going to flow into alts. And it doesn't take that much money for alts to pop. So that's why I always keep a solid exposure of my portfolio in alts. Yeah, Michael, I agree on the BlackRock manipulative nature. Yeah, they're probably the greasiest company known to man. They're probably they're probably the strongest global influence that exists, to be honest. They're probably more influential than the US government even. So yeah, if there are problems in the world, it probably, it's probably stemming back from some of these greedy, gigantic financial institutions. Not to be too political, but I'm a skeptic. I'm a skeptic when I trade. I don't trust a lot of moves in the market. When I see things, when I see too much excitement, I know that a crash is coming. When the market's sold on things going down, I just know that we're about to jump. I'm just a skeptic, and it's served me well. And so when it comes to government types of things, I'm sort of the same way. I can't help it. Anyway, but it's looking pretty. We have a good market here, and sorry for being unavailable. I just want to give you guys a little bit of heads up too. a week from now, I'm going to be traveling again, and I'll be gone for at least more than a week. It's going to be pretty long. I'm going to take some time away and do some backpacking in Montana. So I'm going to get some good exercise and some fresh air, and I won't even have cell phone reception. Montana is a place where you cannot go hiking and still have cell phone coverage. You're just back out in where nature, there's just no contact out there. So yeah, I won't be doing any videos, and even the pro channel is gonna have to be on hold for a week or more because it's just. But luckily, my trading strategy is to evaluate the market, put in your targets. If your targets hit, great, and if not, you're just waiting. So it's pretty slick. Allows me a lot of flexibility when my life gets insane. To be honest, we're July 19th now, and school will be back in a month, and I'm betting that my life will be way more organized once kids are in school. I won't be doing quite so much stuff, and we'll get onto a better routine. So anybody who's stuck this long on this video, feel free to drop your Ethereum addresses in the comments. I'll give $25 of Ethereum to the first 4 people. Yeah, Rafa Tom was waiting. He's in Twitch and he's like, he's gonna do it. He's gonna do it. So Rafa Tom, you got $25. I'll wrap up the video, but I'm gonna leave the broadcast on and see if anybody wants to drop their address, and I'll give you some money for that. Thanks again for being here. You guys are awesome. I hope you have an awesome week. We'll probably catch you in the next few days or so. Thanks for making it to the end of my video. Make sure you keep those trades small. Don't force a trade. Don't get impatient. And if you want to see how all this works, please come over and check me out on the subscription channel at cryptoinfluencers.com. Again, the link is in the description.